Monday night means it's time to play games and save money. I've got oodles of dice and $100 here to put toward my goals. Welcome to Ready Budget Game. Welcome back to Ready Budget Go. My name is Drew, and around here we talk about household budgeting, saving money, and achieving our financial goals. So if any of those sound like something that you vibe with, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, and leave me a comment down below, because I'd love to hear from you. On Monday night, I used savings challenge games to put money toward my goals, and last week I finished funding my Roth IRA for 2025, so now it's time to move on to my next goal, which is called the Big Move. And that is where I'm planning on moving to another state next year. I haven't fully decided what state yet, but I need a lot of money to do that because it's an expensive move to move out of state and potentially across the country. So I've got $100 here for game night, and let's jump into it and get started. Ordinarily, I start with Loteria, but I think this week I'm going to do things differently, and I'm just going to start with where the marker is, and we'll let Loteria come up when it comes up. Now, this week it happens to be the second game, so it's not going to be too much longer before you'll see it, but we're going to go to where the marker is, and that is on envelope number 12, and that is the 12 face cards. The 12 face cards, let me just get these dice out of the way, is a savings challenge that I created. It's available on my Etsy shop. It is a physical product. It comes with 12 A5 size cards, and they are all stickered with 12 scratch-off spots, one for each face card. So on the face of it, you've got the face card, and you've got the 12 scratch-off spots with numbers between 3 and 15, and then on the back, it tells you a little bit about who that face card is supposed to represent. So the way that I've been doing the savings challenge is I'm using a deck of cards, and yes, these are playing cards. They're just a little bit odd, and giving them a shuffle, and then I'm dealing them until I get to a face card, and then I am scratching one on there. So let's shuffle them up here. These are the hardest things to shuffle, and I've thought, I would really like a regular deck of cards again, but then I think, I don't want to spend the money. I've got these, and they're kind of a pain in the butt, but they do work, and this is the only thing that I use them for, at least for right now. I'll see how hard that is. I'm okay with it for the time being. All right, so let's deal, and let's see which face card we're going to work with this week. Oh, the King of Spades. Okay, so these are in bridge order, which means that Spades is first. So Spades is the shepherd, and that would be David, King of Israel from the Old Testament. So we've scratched 4 on here already. That means there's 8 left. So I'm going to roll a d8, and I'm going to borrow the one out of the Dicefecta dice, which is the purple one. And we'll give it a roll. Okay, number 1, so we're going to scratch right up here. You can also, if you don't have a deck of cards, you can also roll a d12. These are numbered 1 through 12. So let's see what we've got here. It looks like $9 this week, so that's a pretty good start. All right, so let me get out the vacuum and clean this up. And I will take out $9. At the end of the video, I will condense all the envelopes, just like I usually do. So let's go to the back. Take the clip off. And we'll put $9 into the 12 face cards. All right, then we're going to swing back to the front, and that will be Loteria. We are on Millennial Loteria this week because we did regular Loteria last week. So we'll just finish putting these away. And I will get out the Loteria card and the cards to deal. And I have my chips here. So, okay, this is this week's Millennial Loteria card, and here are the cards. If you haven't seen Loteria before, it's a lot like bingo. It'll make sense as I continue to deal. I play until I get a Loteria, which is a line of 4, and then I save $1 for every spot that's covered on the card. All right. So first we've got El Troll, and I don't have that on this card. Then we've got El Coachella, and I don't see him. El Brunch, nope. La Succulent, no. Just checking the mic here. Nope, not El Succulent. La Karen, yeah, we got her. El Participation Trophy, no. El Healing Crystal, no. El TikTok, nope, don't see that one. La Notification, nope. El Boomer, nope, don't have him. La Flower Crown, no. El Juice Cleanse, no. El Drone, no. El Internship, no. Goodness, this is rough this week. LVR, we do have that one. There we go. El Piercing, yes. El Uber, no. El Twitter, yes. So now El Non-GMO will give us a Loteria. El Vegan, no. La Selfie, yes. And El Yoga, yes. I had gotten 2 of them there. La Feminist, yes. El Makeup Tutorial, no. El Safe Space, no. El Sushi, no. La Border Wall, no. El Bad Hombre, no. La Student Debt, yes. El Tattoo, yes. Goodness. Las Bitcoins, Loteria. Okay, finally. So this week it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $10 going into Loteria. And once again, I used about 3/4 of the deck to get that Loteria. So just give them a quick shuffle here, and then I will put $10 into Loteria. Well, we clear off the card first. Okay. $10 into envelope number 1. There we go. Now we'll move on to Sussed. And Sussed is a would you rather game. So each week I am doing 2 of these. Answer A is $2, answer B is $3, and answer C is $5. So we're on this card. And the question we have is, which do I most wish I had at home? A spiral staircase slide, B, an aquarium bed, or C, neon lighting? Well, it's kind of which one would I hate the least, because I don't want any of these. An aquarium bed, of course, can go terribly wrong. Neon lighting sound not. I'm one of those people. I don't really like neon indoors. So I guess a spiral staircase slide, even though my apartment is 1 story. But that I think would be the least problematic of the 3. Although I suppose you could just turn the neon lighting off. No, because eventually you have to turn it on. I'm just going to pick the aquarium slide and save $2. And now let's see what's on the next card. We'll just do the first one here. So it says, which would I prefer to have? A hammer that can repair anything. B, the power to change into a dinosaur. Or C, epic music that played at my epic moments. I don't have a whole lot of epic moments. I mean, I've got my share just like anybody. Power to change into a dinosaur, I don't know that that would get me very far. I think people would want to study me if I became a dinosaur. A hammer that can repair anything, now that is compelling. If you can fix something just by beating the crud out of it, that I think is worth having. So I'm going to pick a hammer that can repair anything, and that is going to be another $2. So we'll save the next 2 for next week. I will put the Sussed card back in the envelope along with the $4. And we'll move on to the next challenge. This is going in upside down, but I'll fix that at the end. Okay. Envelope number 3 is the name game. And I don't know what I did with that, so I'm going to go look for that, and then we'll play that game here next. All right, well, I nearly had to tear my apartment apart to find this. It was within reach, I just, for whatever reason, couldn't see it. And with this eye-catching package, you'd wonder why. So if you didn't see Game Night from last week, this is sort of a Guess the Famous Person game. And I found it at a thrift store for $2.99, and so I'm playing it every week. And the way that it works is I save $1 per clue. And so the more clues it takes, the more I save. And if I don't get it on the final guess, I think I saved $10. I can't remember the rules I set last week. So let me take out a card. Okay, do this one. And then I need to cover it. So I'm going to borrow the Loteria card. And then we start at the bottom. Okay, so the first guess, make sure it's in frame, is Gold Digger. So I am going to say, who did Gold Digger? Kanye West? So let's see if I'm right. In Living Color. Oh, that's not helping me. I didn't watch In Living Color. Oscar. Okay, well, it's probably not Kanye. Who was on In Living Color who won an Oscar? Ray. Oh, Jamie Foxx. Right? He played Ray Charles in Ray, I think. Django Unchained. Okay, yeah, Jamie Foxx. All right, so I got it on the Ray clue, so that was $4. And I think I'm going to do one more. See if I can improve my showing here. So let me put this one in the back. And we'll take out this one. Okay. So I'm going to flip it again, like that. Let's go for the bottom clue, which might be a little bit crooked to start. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, children's show. All right, I'm going to guess Sesame Street. Muppet, yeah, probably Sesame Street. PBS, yep. Says, oh dear, okay. So it's somebody on Sesame Street. So maybe this is Big Bird. Yellow, okay. Big Bird, yep. Okay, so I got it on the fourth guess again, so that's going to be another $4. So I'm going to put 2 back and take out 6 for a total of 8. And I think that's going to be it for this week, for this game. So I'll put Big Bird back in the back, and next week, if we get to this game, we'll do a couple more. Okay, so put that away. Hopefully I don't put it somewhere where I won't find it again next week. And we have $8 going into the name game. Oops. Now it's time for Dicetropolis, so I am going to take this one out. And actually, you know what? I'm going to leave the dashboard in because I'm going to make an executive decision, and I know exactly which game I want to play this week. I'm going to play Dropout. It's my favorite of the original Dicetropolis games, and I haven't played it in a really long time. So let me get out a dry erase marker. And of course, Dicetropolis, if you haven't seen it already, is available on my Etsy shop. It's available as a digital download or as a physical product. If you buy it as a physical product, you get it on these cards that are erasable with a dry erase marker or a wet erase marker, but dry erase is easier. So just like that. Now, in Dropout, you roll 5 dice, all d6s. You can get the dice from me if you want, if you don't already have them. Or you can use your own, either way. So I am going to put one of these away, and we'll use the other 5. We'll put yellow away, roll the other 5. It doesn't matter the color. Okay. So what you do in Dropout is you roll all the dice, and if any of them show a 2 or a 5, you lose those dice and you score a 0 for that roll. And then if you have a roll that doesn't have a 2 or a 5, then you add up the amounts and you record that as your score. You keep going until you get to roll 5 or until all of your dice have dropped out, and then you add up the total and save that amount. There's also a low budget way, and if we get a high total, I'll talk about that. But for now, let's get rolling. Okay, so we've got a 2, and that would have been a high score, but we score a 0 for this roll because we got a 2 in there. So let's roll them again. And we got a 2 again, so we lose that die, and we score a 0. Roll again. And we got a 5, so that's also a 0. This is one of those games that feels like it's going to be a big saver, but usually it's not. So we rolled a 2 there, so we lose that die, and we're down to our last die, and we got a 6. So we save $6 for this row. I'm going to do this one more time. Again, this is my favorite game in Dicetropolis, and I haven't played it for a few months at least. All right, so let's go again. We got a 2, so we lose that die, and we score a 0. At least I'm not losing more than 1 die on each roll. Of course, I say that now. And sure enough, I lost 2 dice on that roll, so we scored a 0. Just like that, we're down to 2 dice. And we're out. So we've got a 5 and a 2. So nothing for that round. So let's go again. Now you can make it to where if you end up with a 0, you save an amount. But I just let the dice be natural. And I apologize for the glare here. Because it's glossy coated, the ring light reflects. Okay, so we've got a score here. And our score is 13. And we get to keep all the dice. And we lose that die. That's a 5, so 0 there. And we lose that die, 0 there. Last roll, win, lose, or push, and we've got an 8. So our total here is 21, but I am going to add the 2 and the 1 and save $3. And I think I'm going to go one more time because I've got a couple of 10s here. So we'll do one more game. Again, I could play this one. I could play oops, all drop out and be happy as a clam. Okay, so we lost 2 dice there. Scored a 0. And we've got a score. We've got 13. Same as last time. 6, 4, and 3. Well, different values, but same total. And we lose that die, and we score 0. And we're out. Okay, so this one is 13, and I'm going to do what I did up here, add the 1 and the 3, and I'm going to save $4. So we're going to save 7 plus 6, or $13 total. That's what I will have going into Dicetropolis for this week. Just putting the dice away here real quick. If I'd had another 0 in there, I might have finished the card, but that's okay. And like I was saying, with the dry erase, just that easily, it cleans right up. Okay, so I'll put this back with the rest of the Dicetropolis cards. Just moving these to the back, so we're set up for Dicetropolis 2. And I'll save $10, $12, $13. Okay. $13 into Dicetropolis, and so now let's do Dicetropolis 2, and let's do the same thing. Let's do one that we haven't done in a while. Let's do War. So I don't think I've played that one yet in just my regular budgeting videos. I know I did the demo for it, but I don't know that I did it regular. Okay, so we need 2 D4s for this game. Just like with the original Dicetropolis, you can get the dice from me if you need them. It will come with 3 D4s because Dicetropolis 2 are all D4 based, and they are lower budget generally than the original Dicetropolis. Okay, so roll 2 D4 dice, record the lowest number rolled in the box for roll 1 for that game. So we're game 1, roll 1. Continue rolling and recording the lowest number rolled for up to 5 rolls. If at any point doubles are rolled, there is a truce and the game ends. In the event of a truce, save the amount shown on either die for that roll. If you roll 5 times without rolling doubles, add up the total for all 5 rolls and save that amount. Low budget. If no truce, save $5, $1 for each roll for that game. All right, so let's give it a roll and let's see how we do. So 4 and 2. So the lowest number is 2, so we're going to record that here. Roll number 2, and we have 1 and 1. So we have a truce. So we are going to say that it's 1. And it says save the amount shown on either die for that roll. So our total is 1 because we had a truce. Okay. Next game, 3 and a 3. So we have a truce right away. So we're going to save 3. 3 and 4. So the lowest number is 3. Next roll, 3 and 2. Lowest number is 2. 4 and 3. Lowest number is 3. 4 and 1. Lowest number is 1. Last roll, win, lose, or push. 3 and 4. So the lowest number is 3. So in this one, if we're doing it the regular way, we would save $3, $6, $9, $10, $12. Or low budget, we'd save $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 for making it all the way across. And I'm going to do it low budget, and we're going to play one more game. Okay, so 2 and a 1, lowest number is 1. 1 and a 1, so we have a truce. Okay, so we're saving 1 here. Oops, I didn't need to circle that. Well, and then I didn't need to erase it, but I did. Okay, so here we're saving $5, $8, $9, $10 for war for this time around. Going into the Dicetropolis 2 envelope. So we take these out, put them back in here. We'll put this one back in the stack. And I'll take out the last 10 and put that in the Dicetropolis 2 envelope. Okay. All right, last game before the next time I've got to break the video is going to be Dicequarium. And so let's do one that we haven't done yet. And Dicequarium is still fairly new, so I'm not sure. We've done swim lanes a lot. We did Sunken Treasure, I think. Let's do the Race and Crustaceans. Let's do that. Okay. Oops. Get the dice tray back out. So in Race and Crustaceans, you need 3d6 dice. And in this one, you just roll the dice and you record the numbers and then you follow the instructions here. So let's give them a roll. Okay, so we've got a 6, a 4, and a 3. 6, 4, and a 3. And it says, if all three show a different number, save the highest number. So that's going to be 6. If any two match, save the value of those 2 dice. For example, if we had 2 3s, we would save 3 plus 3 for $6. If all 3 match, save the total of all 3 dice. Okay, so that's Race and Crustaceans for the first game. Let's play one more game here. Hopefully I don't get 3 6s. 1, 4, and 5. So we've got a 5, a 4, and a 1. All different values, so we're going to save $5. So 6 and 5. So we're going to save 11 altogether. So 5, 10, and 11. We'll clear this off. If I had more money to save, I would do the whole card, but I want to get to more games this week, so that will be it for the Race and Crustaceans. And besides, Race and Crustaceans is fun to say. So we'll go to envelope number 6. We'll stuff that in there. Up next is going to be Fruit Machine, so it's time to play the dice slots and save some money. So let me get those dice out, and we'll play that game here in just a sec. Here we are with Fruit Machine, and this one is still a bit new, so I'm going to explain how it works. So when you order this from me, it is a physical product, and it's available on my Etsy shop, and you would get 2 A5 dashboards. Both say Fruit Machine on the back, and then you have a suggested save table on one of them where the rules are set for you, and then you also have one where you can customize the rules. You can customize the amounts that you save, how many rerolls you get, all of it. And then you get the 3 custom dice that have all of the symbols on them. It has a diamond, a cherry, a watermelon, an orange, a plum, and a lemon. So you roll, and then you get a certain number of rerolls, and then you save according to the table. So I always use the standard rules, so I'm just going to do that here. So let's give it a roll and see how we do. Okay, so we've got a watermelon, a plum, and a lemon. So I am going to go for lemons. They are the least costly here, and that's because I want to play multiple games. So let's see how we do on roll number 2. We got a cherry, so I'm going to swap the cherry for the lemon. Roll number 3, I got 2 diamonds. So I'm going to take the diamonds out, and we'll see if we can get 3 diamonds. I know, I want to go for the low amounts, but I can't resist going for 3 diamonds. And this is my last roll. And I got a lemon. Okay, so I didn't make anything, so all other rolls save $1. I didn't have any cherries, and I didn't have 3 of a kind. So we're going to save $1 for that, and let's play again. Okay, so cherry, orange, and lemon, so I'm going to save the cherry. 2 plums. Oh, do I go for the 3 plums, or do I take the bigger amount that I already have? I think I'm going to go for the 3 plums. Got orange, last roll, and an orange. Okay, so once again, all other rolls, so we're going to save $1. And I'm just going to keep going until I get 3 of a kind. Okay, watermelon, lemon, plum. So lemons are the least costly, so I'm going to save that one aside. You don't have to save any of them. You could re-roll all 3 if you wanted, but you're burning a roll. Another lemon and a cherry, so I'm going to keep the 2 lemons. Come on, lemon. Cherry, last roll. Lemon. Lemon! All right, so we got 3 of a kind. So I'm going to put 1 back and take a 5. And I'm going to go again, because this game is that much fun. Come on, dice. So 2 plums and a lemon. Plums look good to me, so I'll take those. How about a 3rd plum? Diamond. Plum. Great. So we didn't even need all of our rolls there. So another $5. So that's going to make $11 for this week going into Fruit Machine. And so let me get out the envelope, and I will put the 2 dashboards away with it. Set the dice over here for now. Again, if you like this game, it's available on my Etsy shop. You will get these same dice. They are custom made, so they are durable, they will hold up, and they will provide you lots of saving fun. But for now, let's move on to Quicks. I'm going to take the scorecard out of here. And I won't explain Quicks just because it takes a while to explain. I think you'll get it from context, and I think many of you have seen Game Night before, but if you're new, first of all, welcome. And secondly, if any of these games give you any confusion, go back and watch some of my previous weeks where I explain them in more detail. But for now, let's get to rolling for Quicks. So we're on the blue line, so I'm going to take out the 2 white dice and the blue die. Whoops. And throw it on the floor, apparently. There it is. All right. And I need a pen, so let's use purple. And let's get to rolling and see how we do with Quicks this week. A 1, a 3, and a 5. So I've got a 4, a 6, and an 8. I'm going to take the 4. And I'll leave the other 2. A 1, a 2, and a 4. So I've got a 3, a 5, and a 6. So I'm going to take the 3 and the 5. Still going to leave that 6. A 1, and a 4. So I've got a 2 and a 5. Take the 2. Need bigger numbers. 6, 6, 5. 6, 4, 3. Okay, so I've got 10, 9, and 7. I'm going to take the 10 and the 9. Whoops. That doesn't count. 3, 3, and 6. So I've got 6 and I've got 9. So I'm going to take 6 because that's all I can do. 1, 3, and 5. 8, 6, and 4. 4 and 6 are taken, so I've got to take the 8. Come on, 6s and 5s. 1, 1, and 2. Okay, so I'm out. So I've got a score of 12 plus 11 is 23, plus 7 is 30, 3 plus 0 is 3. And that's not enough, so I'm going to play another game. So now we're going to be on the red die. So let me put blue away, and we'll take out red. Okay. Let's give these a roll, see how we do with red. 1, 3, and 6. So we've got 9, 7, and 4. I'm going to take 4. Leave the others. 6, 6, and 6. Okay, so I've got to take 12, but that's all I can do. 6, 4, and 2. So I've got 6, 10, and 8. So I'm going to take the 10. 1, 1, and 1. Bunko again. So I'm going to take the 2 because that's all I can do. 2, 5, and 4. So I've got 9, 6, and 7, and I'm going to take all 3 because I've gotten all the hard rolls. Well, everything except 11. Roll them again. 2, 2, and 1. So I've got 3 and 4. So 3 is all I can do. So I need a total of 5, 8, or 11 to stay alive. And we've got an 8, but no 5 and no 11. And we've got a 5, 2, and 3. So now we need a 6 and a 5, and I will have finished a row. No. So we're out. So we're going to save $11 for that. I typically don't. Yeah, well, technically if it's more than 10, I add them together. So I'm going to save $2, and we'll make it 5 for the week. But that'll leave us more money to play with other games. So, but still, a pretty good game there. All right. So $5 is going to go into Quicks along with the scorecard. Just get that envelope out here. Okay. Now it's time for Tucano. And this game is still pretty new, so I will explain it. And I am still trying to remember how to score it myself. It is a brainier game, the way that I have done it. It is commercially available with a custom set of cards. So I will deal them, and then I will explain. So let me get them shuffled first. This comes from somewhere in Europe, I think Switzerland. I'm not exactly sure, though. Okay, one more shuffle. And a cut. Okay, here we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I always forget what the mask card is. Give me just 1 sec here. I think it means swap the first and last. Toucan with the mask, swap first and last cards. Yep, okay. So we're going to put that to the side, deal another one for the 5th place. 5 and 6. And now we're going to swap positions 1 and 6. Okay, so that takes care of this. And now let's add up the score. So first position, odd, is 3, because this is even, this is odd, right? So if this card is in an even position, it would save 1. If it's in an odd position, it will save 3. Position number 1 is odd, so it's going to be a 3. Position number 2, 0, so that's great. And position number 3 is not represented here. So these two have no value, so I'm just going to flip them over. So for the top row, we have 3. Then for the bottom row, position number 4 is 20. Position number 5, not represented on this card because it only shows 1 through 4. And position number 6 is not represented on this card because it only has 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to flip that over. So 23 altogether. I'm not putting $23 into this game, so I will add the 2 and the 3 together and save $5. But I'm going to go back and return these back over, and I'll explain a little more detail how I got to this score. So I already explained this one. For all of these other cards, and this goes for regardless of which position they're in, each card has a value for which position it's in. So if this had been in the first position, this would have been a -2. But it was in the second position, and you can see by how many cards are stacked that it scores 0. So that is 0. This one's in the third position, but it only has a first position and a second position on it. So it doesn't have anything for 3, 4, 5, or 6. So if this shows up in any of those positions, it's a 0. Position number 4, again, that's where we got that 20. And then like up here, position 5 has nothing for that, so it's a 0. Position 6 has nothing for it, it's a 0. So realistically, only 2 of these cards were able to be scored, but this one was a humdinger. So I'm going to save $5 for this game, and I am going to play this one more time. So let me flip these in here. And I will do another quick shuffle. Not as adept with these skinny cards. as I am with regular playing cards. There we go, that's better. Okay, I'm just going to shuffle twice and cut. So let's deal them again, and let's see how we do this time. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate the bottom row right away because this has nothing for 4, nothing for 5, and nothing for 6. So these all count as 0. So let's focus on the top. So first position, 5. Second position for this one is 6. Third position for this one is 6. So we've got 6 plus 5. That is 12 plus 5 is 17. And I'm not going to save 17. I'm going to add the 1 and the 7 and save 8. So that is what I'll do for this game. 5 plus 2 plus 1. This game has totally different rules if you play it with other people. I've just adapted it to be a savings challenge game and to suit my own needs. And I encourage everyone to do the same, whether it's one of my games that you purchase from me on my Etsy shop or a game that you find in your closet or at the game store or what have you. Make every game your own. Make it make sense for you, make it make sense for your budget, and save accordingly. So I'm just going to put these cards away. We've only got 2 envelopes in the binder that we haven't touched yet, and I'm not sure if we'll get to them both, but we'll try. Okay. So this mess is going into envelope number 9. And next up is going to be Dice Fecta. So let me get set up for Dice Fecta, and we will go ahead and play that one next. All right, let's play Dice Fecta. And because I'm trying to keep it low budget, I am just going to play D6 Dice Fecta this week. And we'll just do one game, but I will play card B. If you haven't seen this before, again, I've explained it in previous videos, so go back and watch one of those if you want to see it. It was also in my June launch, I believe. So if you go back and watch the June Etsy launch video, the full explanation will be there. I think it was June. It might have been May. At any rate, let's get out the D6 dice, or the die, from the Dice Fecta envelope. There we go. And I will get out my lucky dice tray. And what else do I need? Dry erase marker. Here we go. First roll is a 5. So 5s. Ooh, 3 of them. Okay, roll number 2. 5 again. 3. 3 of those. So a 1, a 4, or a 6 will give it to us. And 1. Dice Fecta. So we can save $9 if we're going to be decadent, and that would take almost every single dollar I have, so we're not going to do that. Or we could save the low budget and save $1, or we could go for the in-between, which is $1 for every space marked off, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, if I save 7, that leaves me $4 for the 12 days of Christmas, and I think that should be plenty. Plenty as in, if I go over, it's not going to be too bad of an overage. So I will save the $7 into the Dice Fecta envelope. Stick this in the back here. 5, 6, 7. We've got our lowly $4 here for the 12 days of Christmas, but let me put everything away. Okay. Oh, I could cap this marker so it doesn't dry out. Okay, Dice Fecta, envelope number 10. Okay, and then last but not least is the 12 days of Christmas. So let me get these out. I will get out the D12, and that will tell us which card we're going to work on. Number 3, which I think is done. Let's see. 3 is done. I've got these all out of order. So there's 1, 2, 3. Yes, 3 is done. All right. So roll them again. Number 5, 5 golden rings. We have 1 more left on this card, so let's see what it is. Be gentle. Oh dear. $10. Okay. So I'm going to be over by $6, and that will be $6 less that I have to put in to the Life of a Creator when we come back and do that on Wednesday. So $4 there. Actually, I'm just going to grab, well, I'll grab 2 5s because that's what I have handy. So grab 2 5s into envelope number 11. And then I could put the marker on number 12 for the 12 face cards, but I think for now at least I'm going to retire the marker and we'll start over at number 1. Or actually, you know what, I'll just put it on number 1 because we've gotten through the binder the last few weeks. So with the assortment of games that I'm currently playing, $100 seems to last the whole way through. So I'm going to go back to starting with Loteria just because it happens to be in envelope number 1 for next week. And we'll see if we can accomplish the same feat next week. But don't click off just yet because I'm going to go through and consolidate all of these envelopes that we played in this week because all of that game playing made them thick. So let's see how much space we can save, and I'll be right back to do that condensing. All right, I've got the binder ready and the cash tray reset, so let's condense. Envelope number 1, Loteria, has inside of it 100, 200, 50, 70, 81, so nothing we can do there. And then in Sust, we have 100, 2, 4, 6. So let's take the 3 2s out and replace those with a 5 and a 1. This one added up quick. I haven't been doing Sus that long. All right, in the name game, we have 10, 15, 17, 19, 20. So we'll swap all of this for a 20. 10, 5, 2 2s, and the 1. Okay. Envelope 4 is Dicetropolis, and we have 100, 200, 300, 10, 20, 5, 27, 29, 31. Okay, so this should be 20, 10, 15, 17, 19, 20, yep. Take that out, put a 20 in. So still 331 into Dicetropolis. And I think I'm just going to let these go until the end of the year, unless I decide to swap them out for other games later, just to see how much some of these can save in a year. I've put them toward multiple different goals. If you've been with me for a while, initially I was working on my emergency fund, then it was my blip fund, then it was my Roth IRA, and now it's the big move. So $62 into Dicetropolis 2, nothing we can do there. And if you want to know more about the big move, I talk about it in more detail on my weekly budget update videos that come out Friday mornings. So Dicequarium has 10, 15, 20, 5, 27, 28. So we're going to take a 10 and 2 5s back for a 20. And then in Fruit Machine, we have 20, 30, 5, 42. Swap those for a 2. And then I'm going to swap a 10 and 2 5s for a 20. That's been the theme of the binder so far. May run out of stickered 20s at this rate. Okay. On to Quicks. And inside Quicks, besides the scorecard, we have 100, 200, 300, 20, 5, 30, 2, 34. So not too much we can do here, but we can swap these 2 5s for a 10. So still 334. About the same amount as Dicefecta has, and I've been playing these for about as long. In Tucano, we have 20, 40, 5, 50, 2, 4, 5, 6. So 56. So I'm going to keep a 5 and a 1. There we go. Which means everything else should add up to 50 bucks. 20, 40, 5, 7, 9, 50. Yep. Okay. So we'll take a 50 over here. I got a couple of those 20s back, which is good. 5, 2s, and 1. And if you're new to this, the reason that I use all prop money is because I save and cash stuff digitally. So there's no point in me going to the bank, taking money out, only to put it back into the bank once it's saved here. Okay, so Dicefecta has 100, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So not a whole lot we can do here, but we can swap 2 of the 1s for 2. Almost there. The 12 Days of Christmas has 100, 200, 10, 15, 20, 22, 23. So 10 and 2 5s for a 20 again. Is that like the 4th, 5th envelope? Something like that. Okay. And last but definitely not least, the 12 face cards. 100, 200, 20, 30, 5, 37, 39, 41. So a 10, a 5, a whole bunch of 2s for 21. Okay. 10, 5, and a whole bunch of 2s. All right. So still have 241. This is a big savings challenge, so we'll be working on this for quite a while. And that is everything condensed. So this should be much thinner. Oh yeah, look at that already. Ah, such perfection. Okay, so that is it for Monday game night. I will be back on Wednesday for The Life of a Creator, the Savings Challenge book, as well as the Paint by Stickers. I'm going to start that with sort of my budgeting story time, my story of my whole financial past as far as some of my earliest childhood memories with money, how I grew up relating to money or not, and how I got to be where I am. So come back for that, please. It'll be on Wednesday morning, Pacific time, 10 o'clock, as usual. And then Friday, my regular weekly budget update. And then I think I'm going to put off let's see. I probably need to do my September budget. I should have had that done this last weekend, but I didn't do it. So that will be next weekend. Look for that video coming out, and we'll see some interesting changes in September, I think. So that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Leave me a comment down below so that I know you were here. And until I see you in the next one, take care.